Kia ora, New Zealand. Welcome to Sweet Chain Live. My name is Matt Drake. This is episode 106, and we're coming to you live from Invercargill. Brady, we're here.
Woohoo! Nationals week, baby!
We are in Invercargill for Nationals. It's been an absolutely fantastic day. There may today be some background noise as we do have a live studio audience. So there we are. You can hear them there. They're doing an absolutely fantastic job of heckling us as we go and digging into some curry as well. Anyway, we've had an absolutely fantastic day. Flew in this morning, and then played. But you played the gold course.
Yep.
And you got a couple of rounds in.
Yeah, I got 2 rounds in.
And I played the red course again. Got a couple of rounds in. So we're going to be talking through those courses for you shortly. We've got hot scores, and we've got what else have we got?
Hot scores that talking about
Hot scores for the week, and then tipping of who we think is going to be who we
and a giveaway.
And we
Don't
got the giveaway
we have
because we reached 50 Twitch followers. So thank you so much, everybody who's following us on Twitch. You can head over now, Twitch, and it's Sweet Chain Music NZ. Drop us a follow. It really helps the channel out. And we'll be doing a spin the wheel for later on and for a mystery box of discs. And I have the discs with me, just on the off chance that the person who wins happens to be in Invercargill. If not, I shall take them home and post them. Anyway, we're going to get on with some hot scores. So, Brady, take us through the South.
Let's see. As ever, let's start in Invercargill, Queen's Park. Michael Todd shoots a -9, trying a Chewy Wookie. Also shooting -9. A Chewy Wookie, apparently, is the hot round in Invercargill. I wish them luck this weekend at Nationals. Let's go to Chingsford and Dunedin. Owen Padicau and Jack Maffey shoot -5 to lead the leaderboard. Over at Brockville, Duran Caldecott shoots a -7. Up at the Queenstown Garden, Chris Finn with a hot round of 13 under par. So congratulations, Chris. And he locks out Queenstown with a 7 down at Tucker Beach. Over at Ely Point, we got Luke Godfrey with a -5 for the hot round this week. And at Lismore Park, Ryan Cambridge back atop the leaderboard, 11 under par. Garden City, Jelly Park, Caleb Kikori Leach, 13 under par for the hot round this week. And Gregor Brosnan shoots -7 at Ascot. For the hot round. We have Queen's Park Reserve. Terrence Beach shoots -6 and also -6 for Alan 03 at Brooker Ave. Finishing out the South Island, Matthias Svengard at 3 over par.
And taking us through the North, taking the hot score at Berhampore is a tie between Keith Furlow and live audience team member Simon Fogarty. Hikoikoi at the reserve is Mark Bowen, who hits 5 under par, and 5 under par was enough for Matt Watwood to take out the hot round at Harcourt earlier this week. Ephraim Russell shoots 7 under par twice at Linklater. Very well done, Ephraim. And up in Maryland's, Tom Roberts and Amy Whitmore tie the hot round with a 2 under par. Across the Spa Park Red, and it's Callum Petman and Nathaniel Crawford who hit +4, and Josh Pratt does enough at McLaren's with his 1 under par. Levi Gojak hits 3 under par at Henderson to take out the hot score for the week in the Big Smoke. Lovely. Right. So, Nationals. It's been a long time coming. We've spoken on the show about how much we're looking forward to this. It's been an absolutely fantastic day. If you got to Nationals today and you're in and around Invercargill, drop in the comments what have you really enjoyed about today. What's your highlight of the day been? It's been a practice round. Brady, what's your highlight been?
Gosh, I don't know. The weather's really nice this weekend. Looks like it's going to stay that way. I'd say my putting's feeling really good going into this weekend.
Good.
I've sorted out a spin putt, which is really helpful in the swirly winds that I've had out on the course.
Yeah.
How about you? Like any highlights, any throw-ins, good drives?
I very few of my play that's noteworthy. However, I really have enjoyed the red course. I think for someone like me who doesn't throw far, it's been absolutely fantastic to play on a course where I feel I can attack without it being like, normally I go to an away tournament like Christchurch, for example, and I defend because I just don't have the arm. It feels great to play on a course where I feel like I can attack and actually make a move and do something and be in control a little bit more. So that's been a particular highlight. Can't wait for tomorrow for the real quiz tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah, don't play the gold course. It is not a defend course. It is not a throw short and controlled course. It's got heaps of distance. I'm loving every inch of it. It's an absolute treat to like be able to open up on multiple holes, to throw drivers on multiple holes.
You've got a long old course to play, right? So I don't know if you've seen this. It's a par 70, right, which is a lot, and it's a kilometre longer than the blue course, the longer course in Christchurch.
Yeah.
So 6 par 3s, about 4 or 5 par 5s, I think, and the rest par 4s and some seriously long holes. So if you're playing the big course this week, then try and get an arm or shoulder massage probably on Friday and Saturday night would do you well. Anyway, what we're going to do now is Brady has played the gold course. I've played the red course, and we're going to take you through some of the course holes and some of our highlights. We're not going to go into detail on every single hole because we're here forever, because there's 36 holes. But we're going to skip over and talk about some that we think are particularly noteworthy within the courses. So we'll start in on the red course. Okay, so Brady, you haven't played this course yet. But let's have a look. So this is on the Facebook site of Disc Golf Invercargill. So hole 1 is a pretty innocuous. The only danger we found here was don't go into the trees on the left-hand side. Other than that, you've probably got a relatively easy par 4. Hole 2 is again a pretty kind of straight and shoot. I don't think there'll be too many people playing this course who feel confident in kind of dialing back the distance here. I found that 105 meters was just the right distance for me actually to just put it on a full send, and I'd land quite close. I quite enjoyed this one. Right, so the first one we're going to spend some time on is hole 3. Hole 3 is a really, really tricky, and this OB line does not do the proximity of the OB line justice, frankly. It's a really, really tough shaping highs are right, left to right, and it's something that we're going to be is really worth taking your time on. This is one of those ones I think take a free. I'm not going to be attacking this hole at all, I don't think. I just want to stick something out onto the right hand side.
But you just said like 100 meters is like your bread and butter, and now like you're quivering at the knees for an 88 meter hole?
Well, no, because there's hazards on this, right? The first 2 holes, there's very few hazards on them. It's fairly open, right? But there's trees, there's a close OB line. I managed to go OB twice on this on my second round, so it's not.
So you're going to be having like nightmares over like little OB flags tonight? Is that how tonight's going to go?
Not in the same way as I had nightmares over hole 17 at Christchurch, but that's another story. Hole 4 is a gettable eagle, right? I had an eagle putt from the edge of circle here, and a couple of the guys who I was playing with actually hit the eagle on this hole. So 122 meters. If you think you can go for it, go for it. But to be honest, the eagle play is the same as the birdie play, so you may as well try it, right? Hole 5. Hole 5's difficult. Hole 5 is a really, really tricky hole. What you can't see here is a little mound that is about on the edge of circle, which you've got to try and get over, and then there's a wall of trees in front of it. So it's really, really tricky to get a birdie. Again, one of those ones that I think I just want to put it into I want to put my drive into a place where I feel like I can pitch up afterwards. Hole 6. Hole 6 is a nice little short 56 meter hole. There's nothing really innocuous on here other than a raised basket. So be aware that you don't really want to be putting from any more than about 6 or 7 meters on this hole, as I found out as I've managed to free putt this.
I was going to say, how many 6 or 7 meter putts did you get on that basket today?
Not today. About 2 on the first round as we were practicing, but on the second round I managed to miss quite a few. Hole 7 is part of the regular Invercargill course, so locals will know this. They've added in some OB and made the sand trap a hazard. I took a sidearm to this. People were taking putters. Really, it's quite a nice, easy hole. Just stay out the bunker, and even if you land in the bunker, you can still putt from the bunker for par, and you're not really punished.
I just want to say congratulations on the 60 meter sidearm.
Yeah, thank you. Right. Hole 8's difficult because you can't see the basket off the tee. The basket is about 30 meters back of a big tree that's blocking it, the key here is to miss right. If you're gonna go right, maybe go with something slightly flippier if you're throwing a right hand backhand, so that if there's some fade, it doesn't fade into the path here, which is very close to the line that you'll want to take. Hole 9 has got a Mando, and then the what you can't see on here is the elevation change as it skips down the hill. Got a birdie on this on the second round today, so it's definitely there. Turnover backhand, and you can put it within the circle relatively
I like
easily.
that they finally made it a par 3, not a par 4.
Well, you say that. We'll get to one in a minute, which
Okay.
which is
Sorry.
arguably
Jumped the
arguably
gun,
not-
my bad.
Well, hole 4 is an example of
Oh.
a pretty gimme par 4. Honestly,
Okay.
a South Island par 4, as we would call it. Hole 10 is your triple Mando. So the Saucy Chook adverts make an archway to get through. Got a lucky tree kick which pushed me through the mandatory earlier on. I shan't be trying to do that tomorrow. Hole 11, I think this is one of the regular holes. Again, just point and shoot. There's a few trees guarding the basket, but you should otherwise be able to get through. Hole 12. Hole 12 plays back alongside where hole 11 was, and I'm trying to remember hole 12. What was about hole 12?
Lots of trees.
Lots of trees.
The live audience is saying.
Lots of trees. Okay, so
I mean, the picture does have a lot of trees
Sorry?
on it.
OB with the runner.
OB with the runner. What?
The runner was running. You didn't see him.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Wait,
this-
did you almost hit someone today?
No. I released the disc and then a runner appeared. Honestly, that's so I shouted for and he was out of bounds, and which is where my disc went.
Wait, so the runner took your disc and like put it in the basket?
So right, so this course I think breaks down into a few groups, and one of the groups is take a free, and under no circumstances try to go for a 2 unless you're really good. I'll leave that up to you. This is one of those ones that I'm trying to take a free on.
Okay.
Hole 13, loved this hole. Got a birdie on it 3 times today. Absolutely loved this hole. Sidearm through the gap, skip round the Mando, play an approach shot in for a tap in birdie. Lovely stuff. Hole 14. Hole 14 is one that you should get every time, but you don't. And a lot of people were going OB, hitting the first available, going fading out too far left. The miss seems to be to go long because not many people were going OB long. So if that helps at all, then do that. But you really want to not hyzer out too early. Respect the distance on this one. Hole 15. Hole 15. Now this is a par 4, 90 meters.
What?
There was a couple of eagles on the card that we played today.
You could reach out with your sidearm.
Don't be silly. Phil McLeod managed to get an eagle on it, and I got very close. It's a big loopy anhyzer, and as long as you've got something that will check up at the end, and you can get through the trees. There's lots of big mounds of chip wood.
Yeah.
If you know, it's
You
one
mean
of the regular
wood chips or
wood
chipped
chips.
wood?
Chipped wood, I think.
Okay.
One or both of those. But even then, I find that the birdie is almost, unless you putt badly, the birdie's there for the taking. So this is one that really, if you're taking a par, you're probably losing a stroke on a few people.
So what do you throw that like checks up at 90 meters?
So for me, I'm throwing a maul here,
Okay.
right? It's a maul that's in it's in an opto chameleon maul, so it's slightly more stable than a regular maul, and it's that little bit of stability that just means that it doesn't hold the line at the end and just checks back at the end, which has served me well. Hole 16. Hole 16's tough. Hole 16 falls into that basket of I'm trying to take a free, and I've decided with this one actually just to play a mid-range shot 2/3 of the way up, and then play an approach and putt, take a free, walk away, and be happy. Hole 17, managed to get pin high with this, although it was slightly wide today. 100 meters left, basically. There's nothing on the right hand side for the righty backhands that's going to cause you any trouble with a hyzer. Only thing to be aware of here is that you've been playing in the woods for probably about a dozen holes by this point, and the wind plays a factor on this hole, whereas previously it doesn't. So that could take you by surprise. Today it was a headwind. That might change over the course of the weekend. And finally, hole 18, which was a nice little island hole. Despite calls for me to choke it earlier on today, I managed to keep my cool and park it earlier on today. So with this one again, just be aware. I would just respect the fact that it can get a bit windy out there. Throw something stable, stick it out right, let the disc do the work, and you'll be fine. So quite a few different holes really, and I there's lots of opportunity to attack. And what we found actually, looking at the scorecard that we had today, it was either birdies or bogeys. There was very little pars going on. It was really gave you an opportunity to attack, or it punished you in places. And I took a couple of double bogeys, as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I was wondering who had the red on the scorecard today.
I very much take responsibility for that. But I think there's lots of opportunities to attack. I wouldn't be surprised if someone can go double digits. I expect the hot round this over the course of the weekend to be approaching 9 or 10 under. Honestly,
Okay.
I think there's people in the MA40 field who are capable of that. There may even be some surprises in MA2, even in FA40 and FA1. They've got good opportunity to go deep under. Right. So that's the red course. Put a comment below if you played the red course today. What was your favourite hole? Which one did you enjoy the most? We'd love to hear from you. Let's have a look now at the gold course. Brady, I've not played this one, so you're going to be taking us through the gold course.
I'll kind of try to take you through the highlights and probably the holes that are going to trip people up the most. There's probably only like 3 to 4 like must-get birdies out there.
Okay.
But there are definitely, I would argue, 2 holes that are going to cause like all of the long course problems.
What's the first hole that's noteworthy?
Go hole 1's should be fine, birdieable but not guaranteed. Hole 2 birdieable but not guaranteed. Good distance on that one. Hole 3 again birdieable, not necessarily guaranteed. Kind of play it to the mouth and then make a putt. Go to hole 4. This, I think, is kind of the first one that's going to get people. It has a very late Mando. You can see the like red arrow top of the screen there.
So you've got to go right of that tree that looks to be very close to the
but you have
line.
like it's 3 meters. It's this 3-meter alley. So you have to like crush it basically like 200 meters out. So 100 meters, and then you have this like little alleyway super late. I took a snowman on my second round.
Okay.
So like it was one of those like I completely missed the Mando and then just hit trees and bushes on my upshot.
So this right hand OB that's
it's blocked by a hedge. It's like
it's a hedge. Okay,
it's a huge 6-7 meter hedge.
Okay, so you can't play a hyzer out and come back.
No, well, like even Simon talked about, it's like, oh, well, if I play a giant monster spike hyzer like up over the bush, like who's gonna call me on missing the Mando? And honestly, it's a good question. You know, like if there's not a spotter there on the Mando, like how are you going to know? So this hole is definitely is going to trip some people up. You can get the birdie on it, but I would definitely think that you could also get doubles and triples on it. So there could be some good score separation on this hole.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on that one for the scores that come in tomorrow. Yeah. Where are we going next?
Just keep going. Let's see. Raised basket gettable. Go to 6. 6, I think, is the first must get. So it's 83 meters. You are playing. That's how the basket should have been designed. But unfortunately, the basket's like right in the middle of the trees. So you can literally it's a backstop. You're playing layups. Okay. So throw a forehand into the trees, have it drop into the circle, drop in your birdie. It's pretty easy.
So this is
your first must get birdie.
Right.
So you have to get it. You can get yourself into a lot more trouble than you can get these holes that you can kind of get. Feel free, if you agree with me or not agree with me, leave a comment below in whatever platform you're viewing us on. But yeah, I would argue that hole 6 is the first must get birdie for the long tees for the gold course. Let's go to 7. 7, stupid little Mando. Sweet, go to 8.
Mandos is a theme, and we're going to talk a little bit about Mandos actually, because something that came up on the card.
That's so if you go back, this is our first South Island par 4. It's only 135 meters.
Okay.
I saw people put rollers down and be like 10 meters out the back.
Okay.
You know, so it's a Mando that as long as you make the Mando, you should have a pretty easy up and down. So this is almost like your second must get. So you have back to back. You need to have birdies.
So if you're taking a par on this, you're probably losing strokes to most of the field.
Yeah. Hole 8, this one's a little bit tricky. The diagram does a really bad job. It's a really thin, narrow, out of bounds near the basket. It's this ditch. So this is arguably you're gonna have people who get twos, and you're definitely gonna have people who get 4 or 5 who get roughed up by the out of bounds.
Okay.
Hole 9. I think there's a Mando on this. I hope Bray clarifies that off to the left of the tee, where you can kind of see where the end of that path is. That's right by the tee pad. But this is
okay. So a Mando here, going to the right, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay,
so you kind of have to play down the fairway on the right, then throw over the gap in the middle. That's all out of bounds. I was safe in the first round. I skipped OB on the second round. So this, you can have shot separation. It's gettable, but it's not necessarily a guarantee. Distances are going to kind of play, and it's wide open on the upshot. On 10. 10 is probably, this is going to be your third must get. So it's a super soft par 4. Basically just crush it out 110, 120, and then you can take an easy putter shot that skips. That green is super slippy, and the basket's on a mound. So you can literally play a skip right off the green into the mat, slide up, tap in. I did it every round.
Okay.
Hole 11, here you go. This is the first hole that is going to destroy rounds.
This looks pretty nightmare.
So we'll call it, we're just going to call this the river par 5. For all intents and purposes, that's exactly what it is. So you have out of bounds on either side of the short grass in the fairway. So dead center.
Yeah.
You can also notice basically just in the center, you have
here.
that. Yeah, which is the perfect landing zone, which is kind of that anywhere from 90 meters to 110 meters for your backhand hyzer is out of bounds.
Right.
So you're going to have heaps of people that are going out of bounds off the tee at that pinch point. You have that same pinch point down the fairway in the middle. So the idea of you have this river, it's a super tight fairway that's super fast because it's short. So this idea that arguably for most of the hole, you're throwing over out of bounds to hopefully get it to land and stop inbounds, and then not only it's a par 5, so it's a distance. It's only 328 meters, so it's not necessarily the distance that is going to add to your score. It's just out of bounds, out of bounds, out of bounds. So this is going to kind of be the first hole that I think we may see some double digits on the weekend.
Okay, because see if you hit, I mean, it looks very easy to go OB. I don't know, twice on this, so that's 2 strokes plus you're probably 5, 6, 7 to play the hole. And you're already up to 8 or 9. So that looks
and if the wind is up, we
tough.
played it into a straight headwind.
Okay.
I threw my whole bag, which is super stable from throwing in the wind, and I kept 1 disc of 6 inbounds.
Okay.
So it's gonna be tough this weekend.
So this is going to be one that's going to be interesting to see.
Let's see the stats of if hole 11 on the Gold Course is going to be one of the hardest. Hole 11 and 14, we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
So we go from super hard, the river, to basically the wide open par 5. So this is literally just crushes. It's 360, so you need distance. It's basically you need that 110 to 120 distance.
Yeah, you need free 120 shots to put a par in, to put a birdie in. Sorry,
And of my card playing this morning, I was the only one with a birdie look from inside. I wasn't even inside the circle. I made my birdie putt from 12 meters. So that idea of it's just long, but it's wide open, so it's not nearly as hard. So you come off
fewer hazards.
Just OB on the right hand side, but it's wide open. A little bit of bunker and hazard off to the left.
Yeah, you're probably taking this wide, so I don't know if this OB comes into play or.
It's a lot tighter. I find that these graphics are pretty terrible when it comes to gauging distances and width.
Yeah, it's real tough though to put a graphic together.
Yeah, of course. Arguably it gives you an idea, but basically for me it was just keep it in the fairway.
Sure.
So all of this is, I was talking with Cassie Sweeten, the #1 rated female, and she was talking about it's placement golf. So that idea of go ahead and bite off as much as you can chew, but at the same time keep it in the fairway, because you start to get yourself in trouble. The first round I was left, right, and so that idea that the second round when I went back I was just okay, just down the middle, down the middle, down the middle. Okay, sweet birdie putt from circle's edge, hit cage that time, but easy par. But again, you need that kind of distance to kind of stretch out. So the shorter arm players are going to struggle with this. It's one of those that I'm looking to birdie because this is one where I can make up a stroke on the field because of stretching that out. People like Jay, people like Joe, people like Max, Ben Wheelake. This is definitely hey, look, they can get birdies here, where other people are kind of struggling to kind of get a birdie look, let alone a par.
Okay. On to 13.
13, another kind of, why did you put the Mando there? Go to 14. This is your next 14. By the way, there are massive walks to get to 14. So like 14, you're walking 750 meters. Like,
Oh, okay.
Like,
so there's some distance.
yeah.
Okay.
So this is the first like really kind of, so from hole 3 to hole 4 is a big walk, and then from hole 13 to 14 is a big walk.
So I think I recognize this. This is regular hole 1 and 2
Yeah,
combined.
this is
right?
the tunnel shot.
The tee of hole 1 to the basket of hole 2 on the regular Queen's Park layout.
Yep,
Normally
correct.
this is cut in half, and each one's about 60 to
Yep.
70 meters, and you've got and yeah, it's 2 tunnel shots, but the tunnel shot here is really quite a narrow tunnel.
Yep.
Eh?
Well, and it's one of those that like, so I saw it played nearly perfectly by one of my card mates. So like Young Ha was out there this morning, throws an origin off the tee, perfectly center cut of the fairway. Throws like second shot again, kind of just a little bit left of the fairway, but still like in the second landing zone. Went to throw a forehand that like clipped a tree, missed his par putt, takes a 5. You know what I mean? But played it nearly perfectly to take a par.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So it's like super hard for birdie. Or you, like it's total risk reward because you can clip a little leaf, a little bush, and you go balls deep
Yeah.
into the bushes, into the brambles.
And
Like,
from memory, these bushes. It's a while since I played the regular course here, so I won't have played this hole for some time. But these trees, the bushes here are a little bit unforgiving.
Yep.
They don't really allow you to play through them. If something hits them, it's just dropping, and if it goes into the bush, it's
Yep.
even tougher to get a decent
Well,
footing out.
I would feel that they're not even really bushes. They're more like they should be your classic Kiwi or British hedge, right? That has just had like the leaves cut off the side, but like it's that thick, like British windbreak kind of hedge.
Yeah.
So yeah, like super thick, keep it in the fairway. Yeah, I would. This is another one of those. Like I took a 6 in the first round. You know, like it's really easy to get up. Again, this might be another hole that we might see double digits. So yeah, so like hole 14, hole 11, I would argue are going to be the hardest holes on the course.
Okay, well we shall have a look at what we think some of the likely scores are for this
Yep.
when we get to the end. 15.
15 is again like it's another long walk. So you just had that super long walk to play 14. Now you have another super long walk to play 15. But arguably this is the biggest bomb you can throw on the course. Like it's super wide open. We had a tail like the over the left shoulder tailwind today. You can smoke it down there. But again, if the wind up and if it's a headwind, you're probably playing
Yeah.
it for 4. But it's that same. It's pretty soft. It's only 191. So throw it straight down the middle, play a skip off the green.
Yep.
You have a little mound where the basket is, you know, like take your birdie, move on. I birdied both rounds.
Okay.
And this is, I'll spend a little bit of time here because I think that like Christchurch, not continue,
Oh,
let's
sorry.
say at 16. Like Christchurch, there's going to be some good movement and potential for score separation down the stretch. So like 15 is a good birdie to get, and I would argue that our lead card will be getting it. But if the wind is up, it could be tricky. You could take 4s. Hole 16, again, is not a gimme, and it's a totally gettable par 3. This was where the turning of the tide happened 2 years ago when I was down with like David Keane versus Levi Stout.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
And
yeah.
like, I think you can go back and watch some of that footage.
You can, yeah.
You know, like, and it's one of those that this is a great, you can kind of put the pressure on in that match play environment of, I'm inside the circle, I'm not kind of deal. And so like, are you making your putt? Are you not? There are some hazards. So this is a good gettable par 3 down the stretch. Not a gimme by any means, but should be pretty interesting, which takes us into 17. 17, again, it's a super soft par 5. It should be gettable by most of the like lead cards in the divisions.
275 on the flat.
Yeah.
Is it open?
Yeah, it's pretty open. The tee pad's a little like front right this year compared to like 2 years ago when I played the Southern Smash. But again, keep it in the fairway, smash it down. It should just be an easy putter hyzer to like get into the green for that. But it's also eagleable. So like I did get an eagle in a practice round the last time that I was down, seeing like I think Sebastian Faulkner just won the distance competition with 155 meters.
Right.
So the idea of if they're getting like 140, 150 off the tee, they could be. That's an eagle look. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for a second shot.
Yeah.
So the idea that they only have like 120, 125 after that on a pretty wide open, or like it shapes up for that right hand backhand shot that they have. So like pushing down the stretch, the idea that someone could kind of, you know, you could stuff something up, throw it too short, you know, like hit trees. It is a little bit of protected basket. on this one with a tree line down the end. So like there could be that kind of swing of that pressure being put on, that match play, who's throwing first, what's the wind doing down the stretch, which of course takes us to a pretty good finishing hole, hole 18. Now, I do miss the last time I played. They did have the hay bale and the raised basket. They don't have this year. They've introduced the island and hazard. So if you don't make the island, it's a hazard. If you do make the island and are not in the bunker, you're safe. So this, again, I played it today in a headwind. The last time I came and played it, it was a headwind. Like the idea of like this is a great finishing hole because there's a lot of drama to it. The thing I don't like the fact that they made everything a hazard. There's kind of like no safe layup. Because I would kind of like that, oh, hey, look, I want to lay up down the stretch, you know, like kind of take that easy par to cruise to victory and then force someone to kind of push to take the birdie.
Right.
But this kind of takes it out that even that safety net of short, they've put hay bales up similar to like you guys have on the red course. So, yeah, this definitely is going to kind of provide drama for the weekend. So 16, 17, and 18 are fun finishing holes. There is good separation. The idea of what the wind is doing, it's supposed to switch. So arguably on Sunday, as far as I know, this is going to be a headwind.
Okay, well, that's going to be really, really interesting. And we spoke a couple of weeks ago, actually, about how course design, the idea of having holes that separate players. And we commented on 17 and 18 at Christchurch being absolutely great for that because you saw, looking back at the stats, about a third of the people taking birdies, about a third of the people taking pars, and about a third of the people taking bogeys. Do you think this is going to be a repeat of that? Are you going to get that score separation on those last 3 holes? Because that could set up for, you know, you could have somebody from the chase card really have the opportunity to make a difference.
I'll be interested to see the stats on these 3 holes throughout the weekend. I don't know how they're going to play because like 15 is playing directly north, 17 and 18 are playing nearly directly south. So the idea of, as far as I know, days like tomorrow and Saturday, it's supposed to be a northerly. So like a northerly is coming down the country. So like you're going to be playing into a headwind on like 15, a crosswind on 16, a tailwind on 17, 18. But it's supposed to switch for Sunday, and that switch is supposed to come in on Saturday. So that idea of it's going to play completely differently, I would think, similar to like Nationals last year of we had southerlies on like the Friday, it switched on Saturday, and then we had the northerly on Sunday. We're kind of getting the same thing here. Like the wind is going to be a completely different direction on Friday versus Sunday. So I definitely think it's going to provide drama down the stretch. I'll be interested to see like how they play. Are they going to be too soft? Are they going to be too hard? What is the wind going to say? And it'll be interesting to look at the stats for each day of like, was it playing harder with a headwind or tailwind on the various holes? Yeah.
Well, we'll be looking at the stats on each of the days. We've got a show every night of Nationals. So tomorrow night, Friday, tomorrow is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where we'll be going through the results of each of the days and going through who's been having the hot rounds, and we'll see if we can get some interviews with some people who've been playing well as well. We're going to go through and have a look at who we think's going to do well at this tournament. Okay, but before we do, someone else who's done well is Luam. So thank you so much for the follow on Twitch, bro. That's very much appreciated. Now we're going to have a look at the. Here is the.
Whoa. So many people. Wait, can we go to the top? So this will set a record as of tomorrow morning when it kicks off.
252.
By 2, really?
But so Christchurch was 250 on the nose?
I think so. Can we go back?
We'll just have to check. Let's just have a quick look. This is the quickest way I know to get into it. So let's just have a look at this. Christchurch had 247.
247.
So this,
only by 5 people, but technically the largest event in New Zealand history is about to happen this weekend.
Yeah, look, but that's something that's worthwhile celebrating, isn't it? I mean, let's not make a joke about that. I mean, even if it's by 5, I think what's also incredible is to have 2 tournaments almost back to back. There's only a 3-week gap in between the two that have got the size and the numbers that they are. I think that's incredible and really shows the strength of New Zealand disc golf in depth, because there's a lot of people who are playing this that didn't play Christchurch and vice versa.
Yep.
Okay, right. So we've got the MPO players here ranked by rating. Now, before we go through this, If you disagree with us and you think that you can do a better job of tipping on who you think is going to win, even over the data analytics team, then you can head over to our Discord and take a look at the betting that's going on over there at the moment. This is one of the bets that you can place that you can see on screen now. You can see that people have been putting money on Levi quite heavily, a little bit on Nate Perkins, some on Jay Watkinson. So yeah, head over to our Discord. The link is in the description of this video, and put on your bets. Let us know who you think is going to be doing well down the stretch. Now, Brady, MPO division. Mm-hmm. Give us your top 5.
Nate Perkins, Levi Stout, Jay Watkinson, Max Dejim, and Joseph Berry.
Right. Okay. In that order?
No.
So who's taken out?
It's Levi's tournament to lose.
Wow. Okay.
All the pressure is on him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. That's interesting. Even off the back of I was thinking about this on the flight down. I think that for a lot of the players here, tell me if you think you agree with this or not. For a lot of the players here, tomorrow's round is going to be crucial in setting the tone for their tournament. And I don't mean that just because it's a third of the tournament, right? It's quite a big chunk of whether someone will win or not. But I think that we saw it. Jackson didn't have a good first round in Christchurch. Neither did Levi.
Yep.
And that kind of set the tone, and they both had to then try and play catch up. These courses don't strike me as the gold course. Doesn't strike me as a course that if you want to be in control of it, you can really be in control of it. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think the first round's going to matter as much as I've just said I think it will?
No.
You don't.
So I think it's going to play similar to Christchurch. And if you watch Christchurch, you had like mediocre scores come in like round 1, round 2. Mm-hmm. Most of the field got hot in round 3, and like there was a lot of
the hottest round was ratings wise was in round 1, and Ethan won by shotting 5 down, 5 down, 5 down.
Yeah.
So you think that's going to be a similar kind of case this weekend? You're going to see someone going consistently, like maybe not the hottest round of the day, but consistently in the top in some of the hottest rounds, rather than someone going 12 down.
Yeah. Yeah, like I would say, like more consistency. I think it's going to be similar to Christchurch. Hot rounds probably going to come in at like neg 6, neg 5, neg 6 on the gold course. So the idea is it's going to be like that kind of quiet same round. Like you might see a 7, you might see an 8, but like there's a lot of trouble you can get into on this course that you didn't have on Christchurch. Yeah. So like Christchurch was soft when it came to punishment. Mm-hmm. This really isn't soft. And so that idea of like with the out of bounds, like the idea of it's going to come down to inches, you know what I mean? And if someone gets someone comes in a hot round, there are a lot of birdies out there. So like if you can keep it clean and like have the distance, and that's the idea that controlled distance is what I see out of those top 5. Right. I don't unfortunately think that Jackson at the moment, please Jackson prove me wrong, is like he's just seemed off his game this season. And I know that he's battling injuries and that kind of stuff. And it's the same with Simon. Like, can they perform at that level for that length of time?
Okay.
And like they've both kind of been off their game for the past couple months. And so like the idea of I think it's Levi's to lose. Like he has all the distance, he has all the skills, he's played the course more than arguably anyone else in those top 5. Mm-hmm. So it's basically make your drives, make your upshots, make your putts. You know what I mean? It's his to lose.
Could this be a battle of the stouts? Are we going to see Ethan and Levi going head to head? Is that a realistic situation? I mean, Ethan's going to be buoyed from his success at Christchurch, and again, it's in his back garden.
I love Ethan. I've supported him. He's on Discraft Underground. Like I have the biggest soft spot for Ethan. I haven't played with him in a long time. I don't know what his distance is, but like it's going to come down to distance. If he has the distance to keep up with the other boys, great. Like he's not going to have an issue.
So where do you put Connor and Jasper in this? Because they've both got incredible distance as well. And to be honest, Sebastian Faulkner as well. Let's not forget Sebastian, Connor, and Jasper are probably some of the biggest throwers here.
Yeah, like probably rounding out the top 10.
Okay.
But
right.
like
you think it's that control then that really is going to make the difference. The ability to avoid OBs on those long 120 meter drives.
Yeah, there's a lot of like low ceilings and that kind of stuff. And so the idea of like, yeah, sure, they have plenty of distance, but like, do they have the distance in the wind? Are they going to be able to control it in the wind? Are they going to be able to make the upshots in the heat for the length of this tournament down the stretch? You know what I mean? Kind of stumbled in round 2. You know what I mean?
True.
Like Jasper does play well, but also kind of struggles on bigger courses. Like Sebastian could be kind of, maybe I'll pick him as my dark horse this weekend. Like the idea that he has all the skills, he's coming up. So like, if he can keep it inbounds and make his putts, he has every chance to win this as anyone else.
And so what do you think is going to be the hot round ratings wise? For this weekend, based on
same thing. Like I don't think it's going to be same as Christchurch. The field is very strong.
Sort of that 1,000 to 10, 12.
Like
region.
10, 10, 10, 15. Like maybe someone might crack like 10, 20, 10, 25.
Okay.
But like the field's just too strong. So like it's literally going to be if most of the field say shoots 3 down and someone shoots that 6 or 7, they're going to kind of creep up into that 10, 20 plus range. But I don't think we'll crack 10, 30.
Okay.
Is my thoughts for the gold course for the open division.
Okay, fair enough. Let's take a look around some of the other divisions. We've got the FPO division who are also playing the gold course. And this is going to be quite the battle, I think, because you've got Cassie Sweeten, Hayley Flintoff and Michelle Simpson all rated very similarly. Michelle Simpson came within a few shots of Hayley at Christchurch. Echo Lee's also in the mix as well, having really
just one distance.
Just one. Congratulations
to Echo.
And she's just won the distance championships as well. So what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts here on in this division?
I got my money's on Cassie. She's a good friend of mine. I'd love to see her take home a New Zealand title. I don't think she's won one yet.
Okay.
I do think like Hayley and Michelle. Basically, it's going to be who can keep up, and like again, like who can keep it clean.
Sure.
Like I think all the ladies, like from watching them play, and I played a few holes with Hayley this afternoon. Everyone has a distance, but Cassie said it best. It's controlled distance. It's placement shots.
Yeah.
So it's like, which of these women's is placing it the best? Because I would argue they probably all have the same amount of distance. They all have the same ability to put it in the basket from inside the circle. But it's who can place it well down the stretch all weekend.
I see.
So it's going to come down to that control. And so my money's on Cassie at the moment.
Okay. And in terms of MP40 then, looking at the Masters division.
Well, let's give it to you. Let's give it to you for this one. So you're playing an MA40.
That's right.
So who do you pick for MP40?
Well, look. So for MP40, I don't know too much about Chris Finn. I understand he's a very...
You mean like a previous like Australian national champion?
Well, that's right. I don't know too much about him other than that.
He's also the dude.
Yeah. So like, look, he stepped up to the distance competition today and did very well. From what I could see him.
Only like a casual 135 or something, right?
So I think it could come down between him and Mikey. Mikey's off the back of a good performance at Queenstown in his back garden. I'm not sure we can read too much into that. But also his second place at Christchurch. I think he'll probably want to go one better in this one, to be honest. Johnny Ferrari, I know he was disappointed with his performance at Christchurch, so he'll want to play better. And I know Chris Dixon is also capable of threatening the lead card. I absolutely would love to see Young Ha do a job tomorrow. Absolutely, it would be great to see a Wellingtonian in the mix.
He'll be my dark horse. Yeah, I'll pick Young for the dark horse this week. Like he's got all the game that he needs to. So if he can keep it clean, keep those bogies away, I think he's got a good chance this weekend.
He played the red course with us in the afternoon and just smoked us all. And so I'm not. Wouldn't be surprised if he puts in a good performance tomorrow. Let's look at MP50. Don't often get an MP50 division.
No, and it's freaking stacked.
And it's
12
stacked.
people.
We've got them this time. Can we look beyond Mark?
Probably not. He's got the distance in the putting. Like he's like his power rankings is still like top 10, top 15.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else featured nearly in the top 30. So like it's kind of again like his to lose. Chris and I can always put in a good performance. Same with like Don Hayden. But interesting to see. And whereas Mike's only rated 920, Mike Foley has some like sneaky good rounds. He hasn't quite like pulled out a win yet, but
okay, all right.
So we'll see.
MA1. Now, are you going to take a buy on this one? Are you going to?
Yes.
Are you going to?
Can I abstain from choosing this division?
Of course you can.
Because no, I'm just kidding.
So the Garden City Open MA2 champion Campbell Brown steps up
Woo!
to MA1. Well done, Campbell. And
Second tournament ever, by the way.
tournament ever.
So Garden City Open was his first, so this is his
I
second. And one league round, supposedly.
I'm not sure that's entirely correct. Well, Christchurch Fling, he came fourth in MA1. So let's not.
Okay, sweet. Okay,
All
so
right.
third
So there's
tournament.
history,
My apologies.
there's history. But relatively new player. It's good to. What have I done? We're here. It's great to see that he's stepping up. I think. Look, when we look at this, the ratings that people have currently in the PDJ are probably telling a fairly good story about, I think, who's going to be doing well. I wouldn't be surprised to see you out on lead card. Josh Love Parrota, he plays very strong. I think that Josh is going to be a threat. Ben Schicker's got some distance. So I know he's rated a bit further down, but he's got some distance, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him climbing up the rankings. And then Brenley Marshall and Andrew Fleming are locals, and obviously we're cheering for Team Sweet Chain's Andrew Fleming. They're both locals, so we'll know the course perhaps better than others do. My dark horse would probably be Cameron Gronin. Can I call him as a dark horse?
Sure.
I mean he's ranked pretty high. His rating maybe doesn't tell the story, but he's ranked pretty high. So I would say there. Outside of that, Gus van Gisteren has got an arm. He's got a cannon as well, whether he can control it or not.
But still rated under 900. Okay, interesting.
Let's have a look at FA1. So over on the red course is FA1, and we've got what will, I think, turn out to be a pretty tight field here. I think, and the top, well, indeed, the entire division is going to be very, very tightly packed, I would have thought. Any thoughts on who you think can take it out?
I want to see the battle between Stephanie Stryden and Michaela Kerr. I think it's going to be those two up the top.
Yep.
I don't know where's. Ooh, Alexandra. So yeah, I was like, why don't I recognize Alexandra at all? Because she's from Canberra. She's ACT in Australia. So of course I'm not going to recognize that. So yeah, like the idea of if they're all rated about the same. I think it's going to be a good battle down the stretch, and it's going to be that who can hold it. Like you talked about, there's a bit of like control, and it's it's. But pressure gets everyone, right? Pressure is a privilege.
That's right, but there's gettable birdies on this red course
for everybody.
Everyone. So I think, and there's some holes where you have to take the birdie, because if you don't take a birdie, you're going to be missing out. So over onto MA40, the best division in the competition. So
we got the peanut gallery in the back. Seems to be an MA40 kind of gallery.
Yeah, look. If there's one person I'm picking out here, it's Barry Van Beek. Reason being, he's fresh off a win at Garden City Open, and also it's his local course. He will have played this a lot. So I think again, if there's any pressure on anybody to take home the victory, it's probably him. I'm on the same card as him tomorrow morning, so I'm looking forward to playing with him. I've never played with Barry, so we'll see. Other than that, I think these with the exception of me, because I really that's probably not going to work. But Bruce and Brett, I think Brett's got some great control distance, and it'll be interesting to see how Bruce McNaughton plays out of Queensland.
Bruce is a world champion actually for MA50, so like Bruce can throw. Bruce typically in Australia is playing, plays really well.
So Bruce could really be someone who we need to.
But it's like again, like I've not been to Australia in like 3-4 years now, since like 2019 I think was the last time I was over, 2018. So like I've not seen Bruce in a long time, since he came to I think Fling and Christchurch. Him and Rick Capalco came over, some MA40 guys. So yeah, it'll be really fun. He tees off at Brett, you get to play with him tomorrow. Hey. Ballin'.
And
Bruce,
so does Phil, actually.
and Phil McLeod, so that's that's a great card. To be fair, like Russell can put together a good round, and same with Stuart Gilchrist. Stuart Gilchrist was in the lead at Christchurch and then lost it in the last round. Yeah. And so like the idea of that's going to be a good battle. MA40 might be one of the funnest divisions to like watch and follow this weekend.
Well, it'll definitely be the funnest division. For the
most fun wins.
Whether it'll be for everybody watching, hopefully it will be. Over into FA40, they've got their own little battle going on between the four of them. They'll play the whole tournament together.
Hey.
And yeah, you've got some. I played a practice round with Tina and with Kath earlier on today, and it was. I think it was pretty even along the way, but there was certainly opportunities for everybody. Kath saying no.
Kath says no,
okay.
which is sad because I remember there was at one point in time where Nicola's like, "Please don't bring Kath south. She's too good." And so I would love to see Kath do well this weekend. And whether or not she wins or not, I'd love to see Kath's name above Nicola's. Mama Stout, I love you and your boys, but I'm picking Kath for this weekend.
Her sidearm.
She's laughing in the background. Kath does not believe me in my
She's
pick.
got a sidearm cannon that I
Yeah,
I
had to
could-
go into a playoff for like the distance comp, didn't she?
Yeah,
for,
she
like,
did. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's an absolutely outrageous sidearm. So hopefully that can come into good use this weekend. Let's have a look at MA50. Steve Lawson and Gregor Brosnan. I think this is going to be a great battle up top for these between these two. Steve Lawson plays some great golf out of Topor, and Gregor Brosnan is often featured on our hot scores. Nearly every week actually at Jelly Park. So it'll be interesting.
Shout out to Carl Jolly. Nice to see. Is he playing, or does the X mean he can't play?
No, that means he's not a current PDGA member.
Okay.
So he's registered, but
okay.
you don't need to be for the B tier. So so that works.
I don't think he'll win, but he might have a hot round this weekend. It'd be fun to see.
Okay, all right. FA50, Dev Mills will probably take this
Yeah,
one out.
finish
Do
to
you
win
reckon?
it.
I reckon,
I'll put my money on Debs. Can we put that in tipping?
Yeah, maybe. Let's have a look at MA60. Andy Brewster's got nearly 100-point rating advantage on everybody else here. Obviously, we don't know on the number of rounds this includes, because some of them aren't propagators, which suggests a lower number of rounds. However, 100 rating points is pretty difficult to look past. Honestly, I don't know too much about this division.
Oh, I know Paul Deacon.
Yes, well, I think many people know Paul Deacon.
Other than that, I don't know. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Over to FA60 again, big division. Relatively, I mean, would you 6 ladies playing FA60? That's fantastic.
So we have Ming Ching Menzies is playing. We have Jenny Joint who is playing. Eileen from Wellington is playing. So yeah, to be fair, some of the funnest rounds I've ever played in New Zealand are with Jenny Joint. So like the idea of just like Emmett, this would be a great card to like follow and watch. Like the laughter and enjoyment on this card, I think, is going to be very high.
Fantastic. MA2.
How big we are? 40.
40. This is a big old division. At 925 popping up in.
Wait
in
a minute!
MA2.
I thought I was supposed to be playing with him in MA1.
Benjamin Ari.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see. There could be a bit of.
I do know there was some late movement. You were originally like MP40, weren't you?
I was, and I made the incredibly good decision to move to MA40, as it turns out. Because I've got no arms, so I'm quite glad I'm not playing that beast, of course. Yeah, look, lots of very closely rated players here. This is a division, and MA2, sorry, more so than other divisions where you've got people who are playing in their
First
Nationals, probably. They've maybe played less than a handful of tournaments.
Yep.
The capability for someone to put in a good round from nowhere and put themselves in contention going into the final day. I think you're going to see a lot of movement in this this division. I don't think you're going to see 4 people going out and it remaining the same after the first round. I think there's going to be lots of movement, lots of changing positions here. So it could really come down to the last 9 of the last whole round. Well, you disagree?
No, I'm just interested to see how it plays out on the weekend.
Okay.
Like, I'm not a betting man, but like you bring up all of these things that I'm like, oh, like we could make that a bet of like, will there be one person who will be on the lead card all 3 Saturday and Sunday?
We'll put that on as a bet. Any of the bets that you want to put on our Discord, so head over to our Discord. I'll just check it up on the screen. So this is our Discord. We've got a number of bets that you can put your money onto. It's not real money, but your money onto. Who will finish with the best scores? Number of aces on day 1, Brady. So far, we've had most people have said 0.
Okay.
Right, but this is across any division, and there are some aceable holes on that red course. Right, there are some aceable holes on that red course. I would not be surprised to see an ace go in on the red course. Any ace opportunities on the gold? Given there's only 6 par threes, that's probably going to limit the opportunity.
No, because some of the 100, anything 120 in, you can almost get. I had a pretty good look at hole 9 today in my first round. I was probably about 2 meters short of the
Well,
ace.
if you think there's going to be multiple aces, then you can win some big money. Highest rated round. A lot of people have been putting money here on 10, 11 to 1020. You said that might be towards the higher end of. Someone's actually put some on 1030.
Oh, let's go.
So yeah, I mean, best of luck.
Someone's got a hot hand.
This is interesting. Will an international player win any division?
Any division.
And everybody said yes.
I'm like, yeah, fucking right. They should.
Well, because you've got Nate in MPO, you've got Cassie in FPO, who are probably arguably the favourites to take those out. But then further down, you've got like Chris Finn in MP40.
Yep.
You've got
you got Bruce McNaughton in MA40.
In MA40. There's lots of opportunity for people to take out individual divisions. Say again. Benjamin Ari, who we just spoke about.
Oh, yeah, that's right, MA2.
Yeah, so...
do you think... Hey, Phil, so talking to our live audience, Phil, do you think that we're going to have a repeat of Christchurch in the 1,000-rated MA2 player?
I'm going to say yes.
Yes? Okay,
Wow.
so Phil is going. The MA2 will see 1,000 rated on the red course.
Okay.
So, Ben, no pressure, but we're looking at you.
I think that's going to be tough. They played a flex start on the red course today.
Oh, did you see stats? Did anyone see stats?
And
no, okay.
And of that of that on that round, we'll put up the results in a second. But even par on the red course played out at 886 rated, right? Which means you need to be hitting double digits to get anywhere close to 1,000. So we shall see. FA2, slightly smaller division, but Chelsea Prize got some history playing in New Zealand. And MA3, again, a very small division for this tournament. MA3 could be very close. Again, we've got some highly rated international players coming along. Welcome to all the international players. Actually, we really hope that you enjoy Invercargill and New Zealand more broadly. Let's take a look at the junior divisions, because there's going to be some real battles here.
Oh, buddy.
Right, this is MJ 18, right?
Holy smokes. So Casey and Sam both played nationals last year, and that was a real tight battle.
It was.
They're basically 2 strokes apart. Then you have Isaac and Sam who are the same, and then maybe 1 stroke better, by ratings, as Baden. That's gonna be so.
It's gonna be a really, really tight division, And two card, you got a lead card and a chase card. Anyone could make a move on this and do some damage. So, yeah, MJ 18. We're gonna keep an eye on this division because it could be it could really hot up. Can we look? Is anyone gonna beat Jai?
I mean,
in MJ 15.
You know what? Dark horse, because I want to give him the shout out. Carter. I watched Carter play this course 2 years ago. He's playing in nationals again. He's going to be my dark horse to play well this weekend. So
Fantastic.
I'll put a vote on Carter Dixon.
I've played with Carter at Struggle Street.
Dope.
Fun. Yeah, very fun. And finally, Alison Tweedy
finished to win it
in FJ15. She'll be wanting, I think, to compete against the other ladies who are playing on the red course, and want to show that she can compete with it, even if she may not be in the same division. So,
well, it's one of those. There are a few people I know looking to go to AM Worlds and Junior Worlds this year. Levi Stout has been talking about it. I think Joe's gone pro. Jaden is looking at it. I'm looking at it going over to AM Worlds this year. So yeah, I think Allison might be kind of looking to sneak in a few extra points there in the junior divisions, kind of potentially looking to go traveling overseas this year. Not more power to her. I know that Disc Golf South is backed her quite a bit, and so is putting some time and energy and stuff there. So yeah.
Fantastic.
To be fair, let's compare her scores to FA2 and see how she stacks up this year.
Right. We got one last thing to do, Brady, and that's to spin the wheel for the winner of our 50 Twitch followers competition.
I was going to say, so tell people who might not know what we're doing or what happened.
As you may or may not know, you may even be, if you're watching this on Twitch, great. make sure you give us a follow. If you're not watching it on Twitch, head over to Twitch and give us a follow. If you were one of the first 50 people to do this, then you got put in the draw to win a mystery box of discs. The mystery box is a mystery box I've picked out, so you can probably guess based on the discs.
Does
I
that mean
have in
it's
my
all
collection.
white and all latitude 64?
One of those is true.
Okay.
But they are.
So it's
they're
not all white, but it is all latitude
They're not
64.
just stock discs. I have picked
Okay.
out some nice ones that aren't just stock stamp stuff. Anyway, we're going to do the draw now. So let's have a look. Let's cross over to our spin the wheel. Here we go. 50 names.
Woohoo!
50 names. Hopefully you can see your name if you're on there.
Oh man, the Mad Muppet 1970. Let's go.
Let's just give this a bit of a shuffle. We got some of the live audience are in the draw as well, so we shall see.
Yeah,
Here we
let's go.
So we're going to give this a bit of a shuffle and spin the wheel. Here we are. Who's going to take it out?
Oh, please be someone in the room. Please be someone in the room.
It is Mr. Ferrari.
Mr. Ferrari,
It's
Johnny
Mr.
Ferrari.
Congratulations, Johnny Ferrari. You win a mystery box of discs, which I have with me.
Perfect.
So I shall hand those over to you tomorrow when I see you. So yeah, congratulations to you. Brady, that's it for this evening. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll be back tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, where we'll be going through all of the results from the first day's play. And let's go through the Flex Start results, actually, just before we finish, shall we? Because we did say we would.
Might as well.
So let's have a look at the the thing. I know that Bray played it, so let's go via him. I know there's quicker ways to do it, but this is going to be how we do it. So the results from the Flex Start today. So this is on the red course.
Can you show round ratings?
I can.
Just quietly. Okay, cool. Sure.
So this is on the red course. So Jaden Menzies took out the win with a 965 rated 7 under par. Right. So that gives you an idea of what might happen.
Yep.
Lots of disgruntled looks in the room when I read out those numbers there. Because I wasn't in the Flex Start, but I shot an even round playing as if, only taking one shot, not doing double drives or anything, and playing as if it was a real round. And I shot an even par. Which comes out 887, which honestly I'd be a bit disappointed with.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, did you see who shot to 887?
Yeah, Johnny, our most recent winner. So Jaden takes out the MPO division. Well done to him. Tim Marshall takes out the MA1 with a 909 rating.
Did you see who's in third in MA1?
Chris Hoopman.
Yeah, comes out from behind the camera.
Indeed, so he'll be
and
covering.
Takes a bronze.
So he won't be playing this weekend because he's covering. He's the man behind one of the many cameras that are there this weekend, covering the Flexline start. And the Flexline card, actually, we'll go over to the Flexline card in a second. Is a really, really, really juicy looking card, actually. Further down, Steve Lawson, 4 under par. 931 rated. He's playing the pro course, I think, in MP50 this weekend, so he won't be playing the red course. And elsewhere, well done to Jonathan Brown, Matthew Rance, and Eric Toohey for taking out their respective divisions.
Nice.
Let's just have a quick look. What did we say we were going to look at? We were going to look at
feature
the
card for
feature card for tomorrow. So. The feature card that's being done on Flexline is Nate Perkins, Ethan Stout, Francis Orange, who's in the room, and Ryan Cambridge.
You're MDG or you Flexline? You're Flexline. Okay.
So what an absolutely incredible card that's going to be to watch the coverage of. And then, as far as I know, MDG are covering this final card, which is Jackson, Levi, Isaac, and Jay. The top three ranked players in the country on one.
So Jay's defending national champion, right?
Yep.
From last year.
Yes, correct.
Was Jackson the champion before that?
No, because that was Justin Morgan
okay.
won it in, but runner up in Paradise.
And then you got like Levi, the country's top rated player.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a great card.
Yeah, I mean this is going to be real juicy. The they tee off I won't be able to get to see a lot of this, but you will be. So,
Yeah.
so you may be our feet on the ground, telling us a little bit about this because
Oh,
you
yeah?
tee off earlier on in the.
Yeah, I got the
morning.
early tee time.
So, what time are you teeing off tomorrow?
I tee off at 9:50 on the last MA1 card.
At 9:50.
9:50 in the morning.
9:50, and you're the last MA1 card. So there's going to be some MA1 players getting up super early tomorrow to get there rounded. I won't be getting up early. I'm teeing off at like 1:45 or something. So lie in for me. Anyway.
Heck, you should probably go play in like Tiana or something. While, like you got the morning off.
We were actually going to look at go to the water park, which might be something to do. But anyway, before we get on to that, it's been great having you along for tonight's show. We'll be back tomorrow night at 9 o'clock, going through all of the results of the of the first day's play here at Nationals in Invercargill. So wherever you're playing disc golf, take it easy, play well, get some birdies, and we'll see you